Hello dear tea friends from around the world, and welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Erler, the founder of the Tea Masters blog and the tea-masters.com boutique. Today we are going to examine preheating. We'll be really very focused, sharp focused, laser focused on this one subject. And it's not because it's such a small subject that there's nothing to say. Actually, there's a lot of things to say. So welcome again, and let's start right away. Now, why talk about preheating? Preheating is really at the very beginning of your charshi. It's one of the very first things that you do after installing your setup. And preheating is then a little bit like the first time you meet someone. You have to make the good impression, or actually this is the time where attitude is really everything that counts. And what is the attitude that you want? What is the best attitude possible to enjoy tea? Here I have to go back to my Chinese logo, Chargele. It's a play on words on my Chinese last name, Le, which means happiness, and therefore Chargele can mean both the tea of Mr. Erler, or it can also mean tea happiness. And this concept of happiness really is at the root of what we are doing here. Brewing tea has one goal, is happiness. Now, how do you achieve this happiness? Well, first, let's go back to happiness. What is the best happiness? Happiness is always double happiness. This is a concept you see on a lot of teaware. This character, double happiness. Basically, it means it's a character for a wedding, because it's the union of two people. But this duality in happiness is also the duality of body and mind. To be happy, you need both to be at ease, body and mind. And in the mind, you need two things to do to be at ease: the soul and the rational mind. But we'll go on that in a moment. So the positive attitude that you want to create at the very start of your charshi is with when you do the preheating. And so what you want to achieve is something that is going to be really the best, both for the body and the mind. Now, for the body, what I mean is the preheating is a very important step to make good tea. This is one of the very first lessons I learned when I took classes like 17 years ago. The key success factor when you brew Oolong, because in Taiwan we brew Oolong most of the time, when you brew Oolong really is preheating. A good preheat and will really have lots of chance of success, while if you don't preheat your gaiwan or your teapot well, you are not going to succeed well. So this is really at the very root of why this preheating is important from a material point of view and from a rational point of view. You want to achieve a good preheating of your tea vessel and of your teacups, because this is really going to help you make the best possible tea, and it will also help keep the tea at the highest temperature in the beginning, and thereby you get the most fragrances. So preheating is really a very, very important step for the body, to make for the rational mind. But it is also a step that you can use to enhance your mind and your soul. What I mean by that is you want to really experience the tea pleasure, the tea happiness. You want to be at ease. You want to be relaxed. You want to forget the stress of your daily life, or of the pressure at work, or the annoying kids. Sometimes, or most of the times, they are adorable, I assure you, but sometimes they can be annoying. Well, there are many things that you want to forget, and be in the moment, be with your tea. And it's with the preheating that it starts. So this is a step that helps you to make good tea, and that also helps to make your mind at ease. So this is why I want to speak about this concept of double happiness, happiness both for the body and the mind. So let me show you how I would do the preheating. Okay, this is a very simple exercise to pour your boiling water very slowly in the gaiwan, and from a low elevation compared to the walls of the gaiwan, so that you feel very at ease. It will not make sound, it's very peaceful, and you try to control your flow to be as smooth as possible, because this smooth flow is also much more relaxing than a flow that comes out very, very quickly. And also for most of the teas, the first pour usually is best done very slowly. There are some exceptions, like with tightly rolled high mountain oolongs. Here you want to give a quicker twist, but in many cases we can do a very good job by being very slow. Anyway, for the preheating, to be very, very slow is the best way to relax your mind, and to feel in harmony, because you are not stressed by something that goes very quickly. You are not stressed when you are very close to the gaiwan that you will spill on the outside, and therefore this is really the most relaxed way of brewing. Also, of preheating. I also say that preheating is a way to rehearse for the first brew. That's why I was mentioning that actually you might want to preheat a little bit different depending on the tea that you are going to brew. So with high mountain oolong, maybe you want to start to see how it will swirl. So there will be some twists, some differences. You can also use it, and you should also use it as a way to rehearse for the first brew. But rationally, actually the way you pour has no impact on the preheating itself. The gaiwan will still be just as hot if you pour quick or slow, but for the mind it will make a lot of difference. Then the second thing is, of course, to preheat the cups, but you only do this after you make sure that your lid is well preheated. And actually, before you do that, this is the time that you want, while it's preheating, this is the time that you want to take out your leaves if you have not done it before, because otherwise you will lose time between after you pour in the cups and before you can start your first brew. So this would be when, by losing this time, the gaiwan would have time to cool down, and this is not what we want. So also, to avoid that we lose time, I'm starting to heat my water to a full boil again, and now I'm emptying my cup, my gaiwan. Okay. That's enough. And now I will start to pour. Let me start to pour, to brew. So here, so I'm waiting to be relaxed. I'm waiting, and so you saw during the preheating, I was really very calm. I did not speak. Speaking is a distraction. You lose your focus. So while you pour water in your cup, would be it for brewing or for preheating, you don't speak. This is a rule that will help you to cool down and to be more focused. And this idea really of nurturing the happiness through body and mind by making the tea good, but also by making your spirit prepared for this enjoyment. This is what I said, double happiness. And this reminds me of a good word that John Lennon had when he was still in school. His professor asked him, "What do you want to become when you are grown up?" And to which John Lennon said, "Professor, I would like to be happy." And then the professor said, "John, I think you did not understand the question." And then to which John replied, "Professor, I think you don't understand life." Okay, almost done. So if there's one thing that you have to learn from this lesson, is that tea happiness is best when it combines both good taste and a calm mind. So try to start to be calm, start to be focused, and also cheerful while you make the preheating of your gaiwan or your teapot. Thank you very much for watching. Today we are doing a bit shorter format, and I hope I'll see you next time.